So I've got basically five sort of points here about Advanced Warfare, which I'm going to talk to you about. I just want to ask you what you think of them. First point is the inconsistent exosuits, such as, when you're trying to strafe around and it doesn't work now and then. Where there's points where, you can only boost twice, can't you, before you stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you find that quite annoying? Because personally it pisses me off, it does.
Um,
What do you think about it?
no, that's alright.
Do you find that the exosuit has got you in trouble at all? Like deaths, cause... Well, deaths,
Oh,
cause...
yeah. But,
Yeah.
it depends how you use it. If you use it too much, then obviously it's gonna, mess you up. But if you use it properly and you time it right, then you'll be fine. But,
Do you find that
it's just timing.
do you find that using, say, auto mantle is required, or do you think you should turn that off then?
It's up to you. I mean, I use it, but it's a bitch.
Yeah, I agree.
Only because in certain situations where you don't want to mantle, it mantles and it just fucks you over.
Would you recommend that they keep a sort of exosuit ability for future games in Call of Duty? Personally, I don't think they should. I think they should just go back to what Call of Duty is, not Titanfall.
As in,
Like, say, future Sledgehammer titles, or possibly, maybe the other two companies might pick up on this idea of using sort of like an exosuit ability, or something along those lines. They might change the name of it.
um,
Like,
I want to see the double jump, and the boosting.
I find...
Only because it gives a better, you can do more stuff with being able to get high places and whatnot, but
But then do you find that...
stim, overclock, the extra abilities, they should be banned. They're pretty goddamn annoying.
Wouldn't you find them better to be sort of like activated? Not like, say if they take out the exosuit abilities, they could still keep in those, exo abilities by turning it into something else. Because, Black Ops 2, Ghost, that all worked without the exosuit ability. Do you find that it would be
Yeah,
better? Yeah.
but I mean, we were used to it back then. Now we're used to double jumping. I mean, I'm not saying we won't be, it'll be a big thing if they get rid of it, but I mean, it'd be a nice thing to keep the double jump, I think.
Yeah. Number two, do you find that I know you're a big multiplayer player, aren't you? You just like playing multiplayer. But do
Yeah.
you find that this Call of Duty especially really has a lack of content? But I mean, like, Black Ops 2 had the zombies, obviously. Ghost had its modes, such as this alien mode, but it also had the squad modes, didn't it? This one really, personally, I find it really feels bare, in the sense that it has online, single player, that horde mode it has, and then there's not really much more, isn't there?
No, it's nice. I mean, I play ranked. And honestly, ranked on this game is awful. I mean, like, I know a lot of people play pubs, but talking from like a side of someone who plays competitive, the game is very stale. It's boring. It's not fun to play.
The fact
If you get teammates that can't play, because ranked in this game is all about your teamwork and there's no personal skill to it. If your teammates are bad, then you're going to be bad.
Do you find that the lack of content in the game is also comes out because the new DLC contains the exosuit zombies, doesn't it? That new mode. Do you find that it's unfair on those who have bought the game, for £40 straight away, full price, have to pay an £11 to get another game mode, which is essentially one of the big game modes in Call of Duty, zombies? Do you find that it's a bit of a rip-off that you have to pay another £11 to have something that they could have easily just put in to the game to start off with?
I wouldn't say it's a rip-off. I wouldn't say it's fair, but at the end of the day, they're going to make money off it. It's the first game. They can improve on it.
But then wouldn't you say that with the 19 million or 21 million copies of Advanced Warfare that has been sold, in so far, that's enough money that they wouldn't need to bring out DLC with about 11 quid to add on to the money. To add on to the money that they already have made. Don't you think that they should have just?
It's money then that you can't get enough money.
Because they spend around, let's predict they spend around 200 million, right? They're making that back, like in the first couple of about month. They're gonna make all that back, aren't they? But don't you find that, they're not poor companies, but don't you find that it's unfair on the people who are playing the game, buying it for 40 quid and then?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna buy the game for 40 quid, knowing what's on the game, and you're willing to pay that 40 quid, then
I understand
that's fair enough.
Don't say DLC now.
Yeah.
DLC could have easily been put into the final draft of the game. Don't you find that is unfair that they're making you pay 11 quid extra for stuff they could have easily put in the game? It's a bit unfair, personally, I think.
A game mode maybe, not maps.
I understand what you mean by that. Game modes, though, that I find ridiculous, personally.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time.
If it was something new, I would understand. But seeing it's zombies,
I mean, yeah, I guess the fact that zombies is one of the biggest game modes in Call of Duty is kind of stupid in a sense that they've kept that separate.
Yeah.
But then again, the hardcore zombie players, the ones that are going to want to play it, are going to buy it. So again, at the end of the day, it's just making money because they need to make profit.
The third point is basically: do you find that there is no point to most of the guns in the game now, seeing that the BAL and the ASM1 seems to be what everybody's using? There are other guns that people are using, but most of the online community and sort of the competitive community are just basically using those two guns. Don't you find it a bit annoying, the fact that two guns are basically ruling the game at the moment?
It's kind of annoying, but
it's killed the fact that there's not that much variety. Everybody seems to be, that sense of customization seems to be gone now because everybody's using these two guns over and over.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but it's been the same in every other COD. You've had the gun that dominates, really.
But I find with Ghosts now, say you had the Remington, you had the Vector, you had the MTR, and what was the other gun that dominated? There was one more gun that dominated, wasn't there? You had like 4 guns that were very good, but then you still went up against people in GBs and so forth. I used the K7, other different guns. You had people who used LMGs, I've seen. But do you find that this one really is sort of crushed down on sort of how much, the guns that people use? Because I'd say a vast majority of the people who are playing the game at the moment are either using the BAL or the ASM1.
I mean, yeah, the majority of people, but then, the majority of people who use it are likely to come up against each other. So if you're using the same guns, although there's no variety and it's pretty boring to use the same guns, by everyone using the same guns, it's going to make it more skill based if you want.
Yeah, I understand what you mean by that, but
so personally, I think Sledgehammer have gone for more of a competitive side to the game, rather than a multiplayer type game. Which would make you need the skill, which is probably why they're not so bothered about the guns. But I mean, I'm fine with this, having 2 guns dominating, because you're only going to be using like 1 gun at a time anyway. So
fair enough. I'll keep my number 4 point to last, actually, and I'll go on to what was going to be my number 5 point. When it comes to this applies for both competitive gameplay and sort of like online gameplay. I personally find this Call of Duty to be the hardest one to maintain a good kill streak. Do you find that is one of the main problems with playing and having fun with this game? Because you get a really good kill streak going along. For my god, Ghost was a really easy game to get a good streak going on. You could get to about 15, 16 kills. But this one, it feels like you get to around 7, 8 kills and you're going to die. I've barely got any sort of kill streaks over gone on kill streak that's gone over about 20, except for that day 2 where I nearly had the DNA bomb.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've only gone 20 plus kill streak twice.
I think I've gone about 4 times, which is really unlike me, like, in the last couple of CODs.
But, I mean, it's definitely harder, yeah, but that's because of the movements.
But yeah, which goes back to the exosuits. Don't you find that maybe affects the kill streak? You being able to go on a kill streak,
Yeah, but again, for me, being a competitive player, kill streaks isn't.
I'm not talking
a
about
major
that. I'm talking
thing for
about
me.
like not just competitive. I'm talking about in general. I know I mentioned because
Um,
going on a streak in competitive isn't really that important. Not important as thing as when you're going online. Say all of these big YouTubers like Ali A and so forth. Say you understand what I mean, don't you?
yeah. Um, I mean, yeah, definitely. If you want to have fun going on a big streak, it might ruin it for you. But I mean, I don't see why it's a big problem. Only because in this game now, to get a 30 kill streak, you can still use the score streaks you get. Although you won't get the DNA bomb, you'll still get the 30 kill streak medal.
Yeah.
So I don't see why it's such a big deal, because you still got the medal to show you've been, on a 30 kill spree.
I think more people would feel more sort of confident if they had the DNA bomb. I think that sort of thing. If they sort of a mental sort of thought that gets to people, like, you have the medal, yes, but if you have the DNA bomb, that's a little extra, isn't it?
Yeah, but
I think that's the thing that a lot of people have complained about, because I've seen a lot of people have complained about maintaining kill streak is close to it impossible for some people in this game. But yeah, that's just what I've read, and personally I find that it is really difficult to go on a kill streak.
It is, yeah, but if you play your cards right, and you can go on a pretty decent kill streak. Going on a 15 kill streak in this game is good.
Yeah, exactly.
So
back on Black Ops 1, I found that going on a Black Ops 2, sorry, I personally found that going on a 15 kill streak was, I expected myself on this. If I get a 15 kill streak, I'm completely sort of dazed about it. I just can't get over it.
Yeah, I mean, but then that's expected then. So when you go on that 15 kill streak, it's going to give you a bit of a boost if you want. And then the people who think, oh, it's only a 15 kill streak, they're a bit a bit cocky, if you want, a bit of a dick, to think that
15 is
they deserve the 30.
Well, going on to my last point now, this has been a bit of a controversy as of late with a couple of YouTubers, and it has to do with skill-based lobbies and reverse boosting. Now obviously people have been caught doing it, reverse boosting. Do you find that skill-based lobbies are a good thing going up against people who are around your level, or do you find that comparing stats, or do you find that it's not a good thing at all? Do you find it fair?
I mean, ranked play is kind of I don't know, I've got mixed opinions on it. I feel like if there wasn't ranked, you'd have more fun. And there being that element of ranked play makes the game a bit more stressful, as you're coming up against people of the same skill level as you, so you're not going to be able to do as well as you would before.
I was going to say, personally, I think that in ranked skill-based lobbies, it should be sort of like that, because you are going up against people who are around your level. You're going up against people who are around the same skill as you, which makes it a more intense clash. But when it comes to the sort of multiplayer aspect of it, where you're playing public matches,
Yeah.
I don't think skill-based, lobbies and that are sort of fair, to be honest, because it's really...
I guess they're a bit fair, because, even if you are one of the better players and you're going up against other better players, you're leaving the worst players to play against each other, so they've got a chance of
What I'm talking
getting
about,
better.
when I say fair, I mean in sort of fun way, because say if you're just a casual player who has a decent KD, say, you have, say, about a 1.4 KD and all you do is play public matches, and you go into games to have fun, but then you're coming against people who are around the same level, maybe better than you. You're coming up against all these good people and you're not doing as well, and it's making you look bad because, you can't do anything against these people. Do you find that that's sort of a negative? 2 seconds. So, do you find that that's a negative?
Not really. Because if they're that good to be able to go against the people in the first place, then they should be able to take it. I mean, I'm not going to want to try and make an excuse here, but like, internet is always a key factor to how good you play. So, it's always luck, really. If someone has got better connection on the day than you, whether you're the best player in the world, you're always going to get, shit on at least once. So, I mean, if you're going to go up against them in the first place, then you're there for a reason. So, whether they make you look bad or whatever, you're kind of not looking bad because you're there against them in the first place.
Do you find that it's difficult for YouTubers who are trying to up and come in the community now, using COD gameplay? But it's difficult for them. Yes, they might be good players, but they won't be able to showcase how, videos that are going to grab people's attentions because of the sort of skill-based lobby sort of thing. They want, which is, brought on the reverse boosting controversy that's been happening lately, where a lot of YouTubers have been going into, lobbies and reverse boosting so they can get the good gameplay clips. Do you think that if they got rid of this skill-based lobby system, that it would, get rid of the reverse boosting sort of controversy that's been happening?
I mean, it would, if there was no rank.
Of course, yeah.
But, I don't see why there's such a big deal about reverse boosting.
I think it's mainly because that, a lot of...
I mean, I know good players will then get paired up with worse players, so they won't be able to...
I think the
worst players won't be able to have as much fun, but if you're going to reverse boost, you're not kind of boosting, are you?
No.
Because you're killing yourself, so you've got a pretty bad KD.
I think the whole controversy about it is sort of more in line with YouTubers who are basically sort of lying to their fan base about being good in that sort of respect. They make it...
Yeah, but then again, they might argue that, they want to get the good gameplay so they can entertain.
Yeah, exactly. But then, what do you think...
And then again, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've heard that killing yourself over and over again gives you more supply drops. And in this game, the supply drop is something, you always get excited about. So whether they do it just to get into a worse lobby so it's easier for them, or whether they do it to get the supply drops, you can't really say. So... the whole reverse boosting thing isn't really fair, I'd say.
Would you say that... Okay, I'm still going to give you a list to sort of make now by here. So, this Call of Duty, right, itself, where would you rank it in the Call of Duty list? So, number 1 being the best, and, whatever Call of Duty number this is being the worst. Out of since Modern Warfare 1, that is.
Modern Warfare 1.
Since then, so all the games since then, where would you rank this? Middle, top, bottom, or what position?
I mean, I keep Black Ops 2 number 1.
Yeah.
Only because I play competitive. I feel like that was the best competitive game
there's
agree. Been yet.
I agree. Personally, I agree totally.
I mean, the games are going to be a bit different for me because I had internet problems, so I couldn't enjoy the games as much as other people may have. But Black Ops 2 being the first, World of War being second, in my opinion.
That's close to what my top 2 would be.
Only because of how fun it was. COD 4 maybe being third, and then possibly this.
Really? You wouldn't rate Ghosts a better game than this?
No.
No, fair enough. I would have to rate this number 5 at the moment, to be fair. But carry on with your list.
So yeah, that's been number 4. If you're going to carry on the list, Black Ops probably comes 5th.
Really?
Then Ghosts.
Ooh. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Black Ops is a good game. I never used to play with auto aim on, and then when you turn it on, it's so much fun.
Black Ops 1.
Black Ops 1.
That'll be number 1 for me. You know that, you do.
Yeah, but
yeah.
It was a bit different, again, because of I didn't enjoy it as much
earlier
on because of problems. But yeah, so what have I left out? Then Modern Warfare 2 after that.
I think we can both agree that Modern Warfare 3 is...
Modern Warfare 3 is worst.
Yeah. I sort of... Our lists are sort of similar, but I would have put Black Ops 1 first, Black Ops 2 second. I would have put World of War third. Where would you put Modern Warfare 1 then? Where do you put that? Was that number 4?
That wasn't number 4, no, that was... Oh god, 6 or something?
Oh god, really? You're not a big fan of Modern Warfare? To be fair, I agree that it is a bit overrated. But
it's overrated. It's just hype because it was one of the first CODs that blew up.
Oh god. And my phone's going. 2 seconds. So, basically, I just want to know your final opinion on Advanced Warfare, and do you think that so far it's been, a good game, or do you think that there's still improvement for Sledgehammer on whatever the next title is, that they have to improve on certain topics?
There's definitely places to improve. I mean, just balancing guns. I know I said it's no big deal, but still you can get one shot with a submachine gun on times, and that's ridiculous. But I mean, I don't know if anyone else has come across problems, but I've seen so many glitches in maps where you get stuck inside the map and you can't actually run anywhere, so you're there for the rest of the game until you die. So you need to fix on little bugs like that in the game. Then you need to fix the damage being dealt, health regen, all sorts of stuff like that. Again, extra abilities, I don't think they should come back if they're to do something similar to Advanced Warfare. Only because of, Stim. Personally, I didn't think Stim was that bad, because it only gives you 30% more health, which is only a bullet of damage, a bullet extra to kill you. But, still, if you're a warrior, that Stim is going to do so much more for you. So just for that purpose, keep them out, and just the small things they need to improve on. Nothing major really. But overall, I think it's been a good game. As of now, it's a good game. So it can only really get better.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up by here. Thanks for talking on these subjects with me. A link to his Facebook and Twitter will be in the description. So yeah, thanks again, Harry, for talking to me on this video.
It's okay.
Remember, guys, to subscribe, like the video, all that jazz. And yeah, I'm hoping this will be sort of a recurring series where I talk to certain individuals on topics to do with video games. So yeah, goodbye.